Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Sammy here with another video for you guys. And in today's video, we are talking all things notebooks. And I know that's a little different than what I normally have on my channel, but on May 18th is National Notebook Day. And as a planner, I feel like notebooks kind of fall into that category of planning supplies. Every planning company that I follow has their own type of notebooks. And so I want to share with you today 20 ways that you can use a notebook. Because if you're like me, you just have random notebooks just laying around that you purchased, you thought they were cute, you had intentions of using them, and then they just stack on a shelf, never to be used because they're so pretty. And why would you want to use the pretty blank notebook on your shelf? But anyways, so let's just go ahead and jump right on into this. I have 10 ideas that I think would be great in a grid dot type notebook, and then 10 ideas that I think would be great in a lined notebook. All of the notebooks I have here are Erin Condren notebooks because that's just what I have. But honestly, these ideas can be done in any type of notebook. I just really recommend, or I just enjoy these because I love the size and the coil, but I also love simplified planners, mini notebooks that they have that fit in their planners. So whatever notebooks you have lying around, these ideas will work in them. So let's go ahead, scoot these off to the side, and let's first look at my dot grid ideas. So the first idea, let's zoom in right here, is to do a bullet journal. Bullet journals, I feel like, are the most common way people use a dot grid type notebook. It can be on a coil, it can be a bound book, but you'll have your index, your planning pages if that's what you choose to do. And then they have collections. I've dabbled in bullet journaling a little bit when I first kind of discovered this planning community, but it was a lot, I felt like, for myself, especially in that time of life. And where I love all of the aspects bullet journaling has to offer, it just wasn't for me. So I do want to direct you to Cindy Gutenbaldo. She's on YouTube. She's also on Instagram. She is like the queen of bullet journaling. And she has many videos and series of her using her bullet journal in many different ways. So I definitely recommend that you go and check her out. The second idea is a health journal. You can track your weight. You can track and plan meals in this journal, or your water intake. You can track and plan out your workouts, maybe journal a little bit and talk about how they went and what you would want to change or add. You could also do mindfulness journaling, affirmations, more of that like wellness, mental health type of health. And then, of course, share progress pictures just to give you that motivation to keep moving. And at the end, I feel like this would be like a great keepsake type thing, or not if you're not into that, but you could just see your progress from where you started and where you ended. The next idea is a travel journal. You could plan out your trip in this journal, make an itinerary, any notes that you need, packing lists, all of that. You could also journal about your trip in this travel journal, and then of course add pictures from your trips in the journal. For number 4, I have goal planning, and this could be you reflecting on your goals or goal tracking. I actually use this notebook in particular for goal setting for this year, and so I have some reflection pages that I have and breaking down my goals, some ideas there. I broke down my goals again. And so this is just all of my goal notes, basically. My monthly action items, what I want to get done. I actually ripped this page out and put it in my Moxie Life Planner but I made a Q2 goals page. And so if you were just using a notebook for your goal setting, obviously this would just stay in the notebook. But many options, I feel like, with a notebook and goal planning. The reason why I have goal planning in a dot grid is just because it's flexible. A lot of these ideas, it's because the dot grid gives you flexibility for pictures, for making different graphs or tracking things. It's easier to draw in, I feel like, than a line notebook. And so that's the reason why all of these are in the dot grid. Next up is a quote book. You could have a quote book of all the funny things your kids say, because kids say the most hilarious things. If you're a teacher, you could also have a quote book at school and write down the funny things students say, because once again, kids say hilarious things, even in junior high and high school. I have found myself just laughing at some of the things my students have said. You could have a quote book from books or movies that you love. Basically any quotes. If you just love quotes and want to write them all down, or maybe write a reflection on what that quote means to you, I feel like this would be a great place to do that. A plant journal. I've seen a lot of people use notebooks as plant journals. You could track the plants that you have, like the different types. You could journal about your plants or have fun facts. You could track the growth of them, pictures, all of the things. Going along with tracking things, pregnancy or a baby tracker. I honestly wish I did this when I had my daughter. I know there are baby books available, but I really like the idea of just having a notebook, because then that gives you the flexibility to do what you want, and you don't have to fill out all of these pages with like the fill in the blank stuff. But you could track your symptoms while you're pregnant, and I love that idea of tracking how you're feeling, but also writing down like any questions that you may have for your doctor at all of your appointments that you have to go to. I know when I was pregnant, I would keep track of this in my phone, but I wish I would have had a notebook and I could actually write the things down and then write what my doctor says back to me so I can remember, because pregnancy brain, mom brain, they do nothing for you. It's a struggle to remember things while you're growing a human and once you've had your little human. And so I just think a notebook would be great for that. You could journal about your pregnancy, post baby bump progress photos in your journal. You could tape in ultrasound pictures. Once your baby is born, you could do like the birthday type picture or page. You could also track feedings, whether you are breastfeeding or bottle feeding your child. You're going to need to track their schedule, their feedings, their naps, all of that stuff. And then just track your baby's development and their milestones, whether they say their first words, take their first steps, teeth, bath, all the fun things that babies do in that first year, second year of life. The next idea is a journal, or is a doodle journal. You could come up with your own prompts, or you could follow prompts. Once again, Cindy Gutenbaldo has all of these fun doodling and lettering prompts that you could follow. I don't think she does it anymore, but she used to do it like every month. She would be a theme, and then she would have a thing to do every day. But this could be a daily activity that you do, a weekly thing, monthly. It really is up to you. And I drew this box just to kind of give you an idea. Like, you could like draw boxes and have each doodle in the boxes, or you could just use the page itself and kind of like layer things on top of each other. That's obviously up to you. Number 9 is letters and notes. I view this as a keepsake journal, and it's letters to a loved one. And I actually have started one of these, so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. This is a keepsake journal that I am creating for my daughter. She currently is 2 years old, and I got this from Erin Condon's website. I decided to get one of their vegan leather covers with the rose gold coil, just so it's all matching. And in the front, I wrote, "To Emery from Mom," and I'm literally just writing notes to her as she's growing up, just how I'm feeling about her, things that she's doing in life, any advice that I might think of and want to write it down. It's just a bunch of different fun things, and I just love writing these letters to her as she's growing up. And the idea behind this is to write all of these and then give this book to her when she graduates high school. And so I'm super excited to see the progress of this book. My goal is to write at least 2 to 3 times a year. And so we will see how full this gets. But it's literally just me writing to her, giving her advice. Like I said, sharing things that we're currently doing that she might not remember because she's so little right now. And yeah, so there is that for letters and notes. So you could do that too for your children or maybe a spouse, or you could write a book of letters to your parents, siblings. It could really be for anyone. Okay, number 10 is you could actually use a notebook as a planner. And I know I've seen so many people starting to do this, is they're ditching the pre-made planners and they're making planners themselves in a notebook. And so I kind of made up some mock spreads. So this would be like a weekly view. So you would have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a spot for any notes, okay? Since you're making this, you don't have to write notes here. Maybe you write your meals here for the day or for the week. This could be a habit tracker. This 8th box could be really for anything. And so there's that. This is an idea for weekly planning. And then here is a daily planner. I just stopped at 11 a.m. because I didn't want to do the whole page. But I basically thought you could split the page in half, have your schedule on one side, and you could make a long to-do list on the other side, or maybe just have half of it a to-do list, and then you could have notes, whatever you need. Like, this is completely up to you. You could just do it by hour or half. I did it so there's half-hour breaks in between, but really the choice is yours of how you would want to set up a planner in a journal or a notebook. And so those are my 10 dot grid ideas. Now let's flip over to the lined notebook ideas. So the first one is a reading tracker. You could track the books that you've read. You could put in ratings and reviews for those books, book notes if you're in a book club, or if you are just an avid reader and like to write things down as you read, and your to be read book list. Number 12 is just a personal journal. Just using the journal or the notebook as a journal and telling it, writing down what's going on in your life. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? All of those things that people typically journal about. Another kind of like twist on this for number 13 is a 1 sentence a day. So instead of journaling maybe like once a week or once a month, every day on each line, you just write 1 sentence of how the day went or what's going on. Things like that. I feel like you could get really creative with that because instead of just writing all the time, today was good or today was bad, you could just like maybe just do a one-liner of how the day went or what happened that day in one line. I just think that would be really fun to do instead of trying to journal and write all of these things. Idea number 14 is actually an idea journal. So you could have collections and lists of ideas or just a casual brain dump. Number 15. For number 15, I would think that you could use this also as a budget tracker. You could do a monthly budget, a savings tracker, debt tracker, any notes on your finances, maybe for taxes or just notes in general to keep you updated with what's going on. But yeah, so a budget tracker. Number 16 is a social media tracker, and I'm actually thinking of using this idea with one of my own notebooks that I can keep with my planner. because I really don't need a social media planner per se, but a notebook would be really helpful. But you could brain dump and plan out content. You could track your following, any notes on videos or posts that you need, and then just track your progress of your videos. So plan when it's going to be filmed and when you need to edit it and schedule it and all of those things. Number 17 is a spiritual journal. You could write down prayers in this journal, any scripture, study notes that you may do, or anything at church, like sermon notes. And then you could also write down your personal testimony, what you believe in, your morals, standards, things like that. Number 18, I thought to combine event and holiday into one, but kind of have a holiday event type tracker book. You can plan the details of each event, like when it's going to happen, the date, time, the theme of the event, your budget, a guest list, planning out food, decorations, those types of things. And then I thought to have a thank you list. So like if you're doing like a birthday party or just any type of party where people are going to be bringing you or someone that you're planning the event for gifts, just to have a thank you list so that way you know who to write thank you notes to for coming to the party and providing gifts for the party. Number 19 is a bucket list notebook, and so you could make a list of everything you want to accomplish in your life, year, season. Maybe you're going on a trip to like San Francisco, and so you want to create a San Francisco bucket list. You could do that, include pictures from you accomplishing the items on your bucket list. This year in my planner, I actually made a seasonal bucket list, and let me pull that out and show it to you. This is probably one of my most favorite pages I've made ever in a planner, but I just have the seasons off to the side and then the things that I want to do this year with my family in each season. So you could just do something like this, and then on the next pages include pictures and journaling of you accomplishing those items, but I just thought that could be fun. And then lastly, number 20 is just a happy/gratitude notebook where you just share the things that make you happy and the things that you are grateful for. And so those are my 20 ideas for aligned in a dot grid notebook, just so you can get some good use out of them. They're not just sitting on your shelf collecting dust, and you can actually have fun with them. I know a lot of these ideas I shared, there are some planner companies out there that create notebooks especially for that item. Like I see so many planner companies that come out with like health or wellness notebooks or like event or holiday type notebooks. And I know that's a thing, but I really like the idea of actually getting use out of things you already have that are just lying around that you purchased and thought you would use, and then you never have used it, and creating it to be your own, because sometimes you need to change things and it's just easier to change it in your own notebook than in a pre-made book. So that's just my 2 cents on the matter and my ideas. Let me know which one is your favorite or something that you're planning on doing with a notebook. Also, if you have any other ideas for notebooks that I did not share, please share those in the comments below so we can get some fun ideas out there. Like I said, May 18th is National Notebook Day. I know there are going to be some planner companies out there that will have sales and deals on their notebooks for that day. So if you're planning on buying notebooks, you now have 20 ideas of how you can use those notebooks, as well as the notebooks you have lying around at home. So anyways, you guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new here so you don't miss any of my planning content here on YouTube. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.